All right, we are on day 2. So we are on chapter 6, lesson 3. The first day we did exponential growth. And today we are doing exponential decay. So if you'll remember, exponential growth is a graph that moves in an upward fashion. And in an equation, I am adding 1 plus the rate. Today in decay, you have a blank spot. We're going to do a picture of what a decaying graph looks like. It moves downward. So this is a decay graph. It means that my equation f of x equals a times b, and b is going to be less than 1, a fraction to the x power. So that b, the number attached to the exponent, is going to be less than 1, like a fraction, or sometimes it might be a decimal. But what makes something less than 1 is when you do 1 minus, right? If I want 3/4, don't I do 1 minus 1/4? If I want 0.5, don't I do 1 minus 0.5? So I'm going to do, my formula is going to be f of x equals the initial amount, principal, 1 minus r to the t power. So I'm subtracting decay. I'm subtracting. And that's going to be our formula for today. We're not going to graph any pictures of anything, but our decay notes are going to start on the last page of this, or the second page of this packet. It's right here. This is decay. I'll write the formula again. F of x equals the principal initial amount 1 minus the rate raised to the power of t. Okay. All right, ready? A video is labeled a fan favorite if it receives at least 1,000 views per day. Amelia posts a video that gets 8,192 views on the first day. The number of views decreases by 25%. Okay, you guys, initially, what does she start out with her views? What's my P? My principal initial starting amount. Yeah. No, it's a fan favorite if it gets 1,000. What did her video get? Right. Yeah. 8,192. Look at all the volunteers on the YouTube question. All right, then the number of views decreases because as soon as it's like popular, what is it called? Viral. I sound so old. Once a video is viral, then the next day it might be like, what happens on like after a few days? It's not as popular. People have seen it. And there's a new viral video that's come out and it replaces it. Yes? So this decreasing is going to be my rate. My rate is going to decrease by 25%. How do I write 25% as a decimal? 0.25. Okay, good. So let's just write the equation, okay? All right, my first day, 8,192. And then it's a decreasing 1 minus 0.25. And it says how many days? We don't know. Time, we don't know. T, we don't know. Okay. Here's what I need to do before I can actually work out, because I don't know t. I'm going to, with my calculator, are you ready? Okay. Can you guys please, so let's do 8192. Oh, what's 1 minus 0.25? 1, no, say it again. 0.75 to the t. Okay. So now, I just want to let you know that in order to solve this, we're going to need a graphing calculator. For Algebra 1, we use a graphing calculator. When we get to Algebra 2, we can do it a little bit better. So I want to show you that in order for me to find x, find t, I need to use a graphing calculator, but I'm going to give you the answer. T equals 8 days. Okay? I'm not going to give you a problem as hard as this where an unknown time, that's an Algebra 2 concept, but I'm just going to tell you it takes 8 days until it'll stop being a fan favorite. So it's a fan favorite at 1,000 views. It stops being a fan favorite when it gets less than 1,000 views. Does that make sense to you? So people don't really like it after 1,000, like, you know, it's just not as popular anymore. 8 days, the views decrease after 8 days. 8 days, its views are less than 1,000. Okay? All right. Here we go. The number of pica in a region is decreasing. How does the decrease in pica, here's a little pica animal. How does the decrease in pica population, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you, I'm changing the question on this notes. I'm going to say, after 3 years, how many pica? So I'm going to use my time is going to be 3. Here. In this picture, it tells us everything. Initial population, 144 of the animals. They decrease by 8% each year. My initial P is how many picas? 144. What's the rate that they decrease at? 8%. How do I write 8% as a decimal? 0.08. So now I plug this into my exponential decay formula. P 1 minus r raised to the power of t. Put in P, put in R, put in T. Go ahead. All right. Oh, 3. So you have to do in your calculator 1 minus 0.08. 1 minus 0.08. 0.92. Raised to the power of 3. That's the formula that you have to do. Okay, what'd you get? Say it again. 112. After 3 years, there are 112 picas. Aw, so sad. And obviously, you're not going to care about the 0.13. You don't calculate. There's no 0.13 of a pica. You just do the whole number. All right, last one. It's on the back side. We are not doing example 5, so you can cross that one out. Rich is comparing the cost of maintaining his car. So you know how you buy a car, and after you buy the car, the value of it gets less and less each year because newer models of the car come out and people buy newer cars. So if you have a car that's 10 years old, it's not going to be worth the same. Does that make sense? If you buy a car for $20,000, 5 years later, you're going to sell it for maybe $10,000. Depreciation. The word is depreciation, a car losing value. Your iPhones depreciate in value. iPads depreciate in value. Okay, so here is my question. If the value starts at $20,000 and it decreases by 15% a year, so I'm going to set up, first of all, my depreciation, because there's two formulas here. They talk about how much it costs to maintain it and depreciation. Let's just talk about depreciation today. Depreciation means that my initial price, my principal, is going to be $20,000. My rate of depreciation is going to be 15%. Okay. And then I'm going to do, the formula. P, 20,000, 1 minus 0.15. And I'm going to ask you, how much will the car be worth after, let's do 5 years. So my time is going to be 5. I'm adding this in. How much will the car be worth after 5 years? All right. To the power of 5. You need to do on your calculator 1 minus 0.15. $1 minus 15 cents. Maybe you can do that in your head. $20,000 times 0.85 to the 5th. Okay, what's that answer? Someone new. Everybody in your calculator. 20,000 parentheses 0.85 close parentheses raised to the power of 5. Did you all do that? So you all are good at using this calculator. Okay, he bought the car for 20 grand. 5 years later, look at how much it's worth. That's not very much. 8,000. After 5 years, the car is worth $8,874.10. But really, who cares about the 10 cents? Okay. Okay, so now, Mr. Diaz, could you help me pass something out? I'm going to give everybody this worksheet. Do you guys want it hole punched? Yep. Sorry. Okay. So, I'm just going to help you set this up. Do you have enough? Just two. Okay. So, from 2003 to 2017, the ratio of students per computer at school has dropped by 16% per year. If there were 103 students per computer in 2003, what was the number in 2017? I need to set up, so I need to know the P, the starting, the rate, and the time. What did it start at in 2003? 103. You're just looking at the math. What's the rate of dropping? 16.8. Move it 2 spaces to the left. Move your decimal 2 spaces to the left. 0.168. How long was it from 2003 to 2000? How many years? 14 years. So you're going to use this formula to set it up. And you have to actually, I'm reminding you all, you have to go through and do all of this math. Let's look at number 2. Because this has some problems on the back too. Don't forget, there's problems on the back side. An experiment starts with 100 bacteria. That's my P. That's my starting point. They have in number every hour. Ooh, my rate. Half. You guys, half. What's half? 0.5. That's the decimal form of 1/2. Write a model for the number of bacteria after 8 hours. Time, 8. Remember, all today is 1 minus something. Okay. You bought a used car for 18 grand. That's my principal. 18,000. The value of the car will be less each year because of depreciation. The car depreciates at a rate of 12%. There's my rate. 0.12. And then my question says write an exponential model. Great. And estimate the value of the car in 8 years. Time, 8. The questions on the back side that you also will be doing for homework just talk about growth and decay. And you have to say, is this growth or decay? Growth or decay? Looking at the parentheses. Remember, if the parentheses is less than 1, it's decay. If it's greater than 1, it's growth. Okay?